and it really it just comes down to a level of naivety. But how could they talk ROI and the Kirkpatrick's levels of evaluation and then badmouth the back channel? Because the back channel really gives you a level one, two, and even upwards of three evaluation, and it's live, and it gives it to you right there and then.
It does, but I'll take the other devil's advocate point of view. At times, the back channel can be extremely disrespectful. And so you start having a society that doesn't really respect who's teaching what, because we tend to a certain point, create a lot of mediocrity too. A lot of times, if everybody has something valid to say, does everybody really have something valid to say? Sometimes, sometimes not. We tend to go to the lowest common denominator right now rather than lift it up a bit. And I think that's one of the negatives of the back channel, good and bad. I mean, it has
Well,
its.
and in many ways, I would welcome that into courses that I teach. If somebody's being disrespectful, it's giving me a pure assessment of level one. It's letting me know, and because on a small sheet, everybody's going to put, this is the best thing since sliced bread. But if you're getting emotion and drive and just people are speaking out on that back channel, it really lets you know, in my opinion, a better representation of, is the learner really appreciating the content that you delivered?
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Well, you're bringing up an interesting sub-thread. I'm not sure if you intended to, but that's the whole Kirkpatrick debacle.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to win any friends over this one, but that family has single-handedly handcuffed the learning profession to think that performance improvement occurs in a classroom. And I just completely am diametrically opposed to that.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
so we over at TELUS are coming up with our own new sort of what I'll call, I use this because I'm now being cheeky, a metrics 2.0 model. So rather than just what everyone does, sort of the level one smile sheets, and then sort of someone hopefully getting to level three at least and asking, did your performance change 6 months later? That's not the model really in society. I think the learning profession needs to reinvent Kirkpatrick, and ultimately say, look, there are all these components to performance improvement. That could be your network. That could be your ability to both lurk and contribute. That could be your formal learning opportunities. That could be your informal, like what books have you read? What live discussions have you been a part of like this? Do you involve yourselves in chats? And then, there is some grading going on at some point, of course. So some people need to be, evaluated and or formally graded in their role, depending on who they are. And so you add this all up, and that's to me what I would call the quintessential return on performance, not what Kirkpatrick leads you to believe, that it is sort of these event-driven pieces, particularly in a formal learning environment. So I think we have some work to do in this profession to unlearn what we've learned.
Rick and I love hearing the controversy, though.
Controversy is good. Anyway, that is the music telling us that we are pretty much up at our hour. We've been on for about 50 minutes. And Dan, I want to thank you greatly for joining us today, and we hope you can come again later on during the year. It's been a good discussion. I think you've got a ton to offer. And I think we've only touched the surface, and we haven't made Terrence nervous yet. We have to get more controversial, so that's good. Terrence,
But
as
I will
always.
go out and have some, for lunch, I'm going to have some fish chips and malt vinegar.
Excellent.
Anyway, Dan, appreciate you coming by today. We're actually going to be live as soon as we stop this recording, so if you want to hang on for a moment, we'll be right back. And
right.
Terrence, as always, a pleasure having you on board. And,
And Rick, before you
Yes.
sign off, next week we have Corrine Ulbrich from Tandem Learning, and she'll be talking about augmented reality games.
That sounds great. And we might have an augmented reality show. Hey, we might actually be real for a change. Anyway, guys, thank you very much. And this concludes the recorded portion of the show. We will be live again in a moment. Okay, we're back now live in the chat room and on Justin.tv. Hey Dan, that was great. That was a real good show.
Thanks. Time flew.
It did. I looked. I went 50 minutes already. Uh-oh. I'm gonna have another 450 megabyte file to download for people. So, well, it's unfortunate that because we're trying to be on iTunes as well. iTunes, with QuickTime's just such a hog. And the file sizes are huge. If we could just do this all on FLV, it'd be probably a 200 megabyte file versus 400, and same quality. But
bit of an issue between those two companies.
yeah, an idiotic issue, but it's what it is right now. Joe Jobs is again now on sick leave, so who knows? I think he's probably the one pushing a lot of that. I think his liver might have come from an angry laid-off Adobe employee. That's my theory, but I'm not quite sure.
I just got that. Good one.
Yeah. I was waiting for the dramatic pause, but
Awesome. Well, thanks. I mean, we covered a lot of ground, a lot of my disdain and banes, and but I think we kept it up. It was good.
Yeah, no, it was good, and we could have definitely gone into some other branches. I mean, these conversations can go on for quite a while, and especially
They could.
And it's always great when people have opinions. There's nothing worse than, what do you think of that? I think it's okay.
Yeah. No shortage of opinion here.
Yeah, yeah. That's when we usually get this.
Yeah, you didn't do too much of the sound effects on.
No, I was
this
good
show.
today. I was actually good. If the content was I was good. I've got to redo my whole sound board over here, so I kept it to a minimum. I didn't throw this to our audience, so everybody who's still in the chat room.
Oh, great. Good. These didn't turn into a fraternity hour.
That's right. Yes.
And it looks like we actually do hold on to our chat room for a while here too, because I don't think anybody's left. It's still we're still seeing quite a few people. So, and Paul, Dan, just so that you do know, it still is being broadcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're actually on air. We're just wrapping up right now with Justin.tv, and then what we'll do is this will go up on YouTube in about probably 5 or 6 sections on youtube.com/eLearnChat.
Perfect.
So that's an easy one to remember. youtube.com/eLearnChat. So a little bit after we record this show, Justin will do its thing and break it into 5 or 6 segments and put them up there, 1 of 2, 2 of 2, etc. And so it does that automatically now. It's a nice new feature.
Yeah. We record. We don't record the pre and post shows, but we let them go live, because what we were finding is that, well, first we needed to from a technical perspective in order to make sure everything was working. But what we found was that some of the pre-show shenanigans were funny, and we wanted to share them.
And same with post show sometimes, and it's
Also,
also
yeah.
fun, because sometimes we just keep going. We're just trying to minimize the amount of download they have after the fact.
I see. Cool.
Well, anyway, great. I guess Darren and I go back to work now. I guess you probably go back to work too.
Go back to work too, indeed.
Yeah. But you're in beautiful Vancouver, so when you work with a smile. I know that.
That we do.
Yeah. Now, Kitsilano,
Okay.
is that on the West End?
It's the west side. So
It's the west
just
side.
before you cross over Burrard Bridge.
Yes. Okay. I know exactly where it is. Okay. I thought that was it. That's where they do the polar bear thing, right?
Yeah, indeed. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen them do it. It's gold.
Yeah. I also have seen them do it. I don't think I will do it.
Yeah, one of the things I miss most about Vancouver, we haven't been there in a while. I think it's been about a decade since we've been there. Is I love the food. The food tastes so good up there, especially all the Italian, Greek places. Good stuff.
Yeah, we're very fortunate to live in a mecca of so many choices, as well as just what I guess is sort of sprouted up, sort of Northwest fusion, where you sort of get this mix of Asian with sort of new age seafood. It's really good.
Yeah, it's interesting. And Vancouver's still just a very lively city. And has it calmed down over there as far as growth, or are they still pretty much growing at a fast clip?
It's still crazy. There's cranes everywhere. It's best place on earth, as we say.
In a lot of ways. They're not blocking the views too much, are they?
No, they've done a really good job with sightlines. Yeah, so that part, I mean, the gentrification of downtown in Yaletown has been unbelievably thought through. So no
That's
complaints
that's
really.
great. My very first trip up there with my wife, we took the sea bus. We were the last sea bus heading back towards Vancouver from the North Shore,
Yeah.
and we were talking to the lady in the ticket counter just before the sea bus showed up, and all of a sudden we get on the sea bus. It was pretty empty. There's only maybe 20, 30 people on it, and she comes running after us and goes, "The captain would like you to ride with him." Really? Cool.
What were you,
And so
8?
so we actually got to go up in the con tower with the captain, and we had a great time. 20 minutes of good conversation, and just well, how many cities will do something like that? It was just phenomenal. I don't know if they do it now with all the crazy security everywhere, but that was just so much fun and such a welcoming city. Everywhere we went, everybody was friendly. And the first thing I asked the hotel person, we were at the Blue Horizon over there on Robson, which is a cute little place. It's not the best there is, but I like it. It's comfy, and they have big balconies, so it's always nice to get a good view. But the first thing we said is it safe to walk around here? And the guy looked at us and goes, "Well, are you from California?" Well, yes. He said, "No, it's pretty safe. Just don't go down Granville, Lower Granville." So, of course,
Yeah.
where do we wind up? Lower Granville. But it was
That's
fine.
your sense of adventure.
It was fine. It was just more just kind of lost kids running around. But other than that, we've walked everywhere in that city, and it's beautiful.
It is. It's pretty safe, and as I say, nice place to call home.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we have a 7, a 5, and a 3-year-old, so it's a bit of a gong show. Bringing them up around here is a lot of fun because we can hike and cycle and go in the water, and it's great.
It is.
And you call them goats.
We do. There are goats. We feed them occasionally.
Anyway, guys, I'm going to have to get going. I know Terrence and I have to work on a couple of things, and I'm sure you do too. So, hey, again, appreciate you being on today. And to everybody in the chat room, thank you guys so much for being part of the show and adding to the value that we try to provide. So we will see you guys next week, and all of you have a great day.
All right,
Take
thanks,
care,
guys.
Dan. Thank you much.
Take
Yeah.
care, Dan.
We'll see you later,
Thanks again.
We'll see you later, Terrence. You take care.
All right. Take care, everybody.